Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, I'm Shelby, and in today's video I am doing a get ready with me, and you'll have to excuse my voice for hopefully one more video. I'm recovering from my cold that you saw in my psychedelic boho look, but right now I'm just a little stuffed up. So I hope you can forgive me for my annoying voice one more time. But in today's video, I did a really easy soft glam get ready with me. I'm going to a birthday party for one of my cousins, so I just want to look put together and not like a diva. So if you want to know how I created this look, keep on watching. I'm going to start off by priming. I have two primers I'm going to use today. I'm going to use my Smashbox PhotoFinish priming water and my Soap & Glory One Heck of a Blot primer. I've got this gnarly breakout happening right now. It was fun to extract though. For foundation, I'm going in with an oldie but a goodie for me. I've repurchased this foundation a few times. I just really enjoy the finish and the coverage that I get from this foundation, and I enjoy the color. This is the NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation, and this is in the shade Gobi, but you're supposed to shake it really well. It's a really liquidy foundation. Very liquidy. So I'm just going to take whatever's on the back of my hand and bounce it on using a beauty sponge, and it feels weightless, which is nice because it says it is. And I like when a product says one thing and does that thing. This foundation gives a medium coverage, which I like on a day-to-day basis. I don't like to be full beat 24/7. Some people do, which is totally fine. I just like to see peaks of my skin a little bit. Like, I don't mind if my breakouts show because I'm human and whatever. I'm just gonna be around family today, so they've seen me in my ugly stage. It's happening right now. For concealer, I'll be going in with the Tarte Shapetape in the shade Fair. And I'm not going to do a lot of extreme highlighting today. I'm just going to kind of use this to conceal and brighten just a little. I'm not using as much product as what I usually would if I was going completely glam, honey. I always blend my under eyes out last, just because I feel like the longer the concealer sits, the more coverage I get. I always blend my foundation and concealer onto my eyelids just to conceal and to prime them for this shadow. You can go in with a natural primer, but I just like using concealer for myself. When I'm working on clients, I always use a primer just because I don't know how oily or dry their eyelids are, so I just always use an eyelid primer on clients just so we know it'll work for them. For powder, I'm going in with the Koty Airspun Loose Powder in Naturally Neutral. I've been really into taking a puff with this powder and setting my entire face, but I'll take my sponge first and put the powder on my under eyes, and then I'll go on the rest of my face with the puff. I get better control with my sponge because it has that point, opposed to a big round puff. And I just feel like it really sets my makeup when I go in with a puff. If you have dry skin, I don't think it'll work as well, but if you have normal to oily, I think you can get away with it. But I just load up my puff and then I just press it into my skin. And this is usually when I will do my eyebrows. What's been saving my brows and my life are eyebrow stencils. These are the Anastasia Beverly Hills stencils. This has also helped me because when I'm growing my brows out, I will go ahead and draw my brows on with no other makeup on. And then any brow hairs that are not within the stencil, I get rid of. So then they start growing in the areas that I want them to. So this one, I actually have a tail and it's growing in the direction that I want. This one keeps trying to grow downward, so I'll draw my brow on, tweeze the hairs that aren't needed, and then bada bing, bada boom. So I use the Petite Arch stencil, and I'm just going to show you what I do. I don't use it the entire time when I'm doing my brows, but they have lines right here on the stencil, so you want this first one to be lined up right along your nose, the next one to go through your pupil, and then the next one to go parallel with your lower lash line. So that's what those lines are there for. And I'm going to use my broken Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil, and this is in the shade Medium Brown. I mostly use the stencils to draw out my tail because that's where I struggle the most. So I will just kind of roughly run my pencil through the brow. And if there's any like little areas that need little fill-ins, like right here, I need a little bit, so I'll just roughly run it through, and that's it. And it looks rough at first, but I will go in with concealer and clean it all up. So then I try to repeat that on the other side. I don't do this every day. I just do it when I want like a decent brow day. Plus, this really helps me figure out what kind of brow I want. So then I will just go in and start connecting the lines to my new brows. I try not to do too much on the fronts because I don't want my brows to look really boxy and fake. So I try not to do too much, but sometimes to make them even, I have to do a little bit of work to the fronts. I'll take my concealer and an angled brush. I talked about this in my, I think it was my August favorites. I will just take some concealer on the back of my hand, and then I will start cleaning up the brows so that they can look a little less of a hot mess. And that's pretty much all I do. Brows are sisters, not twins, and sadly I had to realize that my brows were never gonna look the same. Now we can go ahead and finish off the rest of my face. For bronzer, I'll be using the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Solei, and I love using my Morphe E3 brush. And I'm just going to bronze up the skin. When I was getting my engagement pictures done, we were doing like kissing poses, because that's what you do when you love somebody, you kiss. In case you're new and you don't know me in real life, my fiance's name is Dustin, and he was down in my face and he goes, "You smell like chocolate." I'm like, "It's my bronzer." And he's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, boy." Sometimes when I'm like right here and I'm talking, it'll get my mouth, and I'm not mad about it because it's chocolate. I like to use this brush because it does come at a little bit of an angle, so then when I brush the bronzer down the sides of my nose, it can be slightly precise, but I'm not really doing it to contour. I'm doing it just to add some color to my nose because my nose is kind of big and I don't really feel like getting a nose job. But I do that because when I take pictures and I don't have bronzer on my nose kind of like disappears. For blush, I'll be using the Milani Tea Rose Powder Blush, and I'm using my Morphe E34. One of my favorite highlighters is the Mary-Lou-Manizer by the Balm, so I'm going to go ahead and use that to highlight. Alright, now we can move on to eyes, which I don't know what I'm going to do yet, so we're just going to kind of roll with it. I am going to be taking the Jaclyn Hill palette from Morphe. I'm going to take this shade right here on my Elizabeth Mott blending brush, and I'm just going to start putting that into the crease. Then I'm going to go over to this shade right here, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that in the crease as well. I'm not really into warm tones, but this palette has quite a few of them, so I'm trying to push my comfort zone and wear more warm tone looks. I just would rather wear color or neutrals. I'm going to take my pinky into this shade right here and highlight. Oh no, that's way too much. Oh no. I dipped way too hard into that pan. Try to blend this a little bit because that was very extreme. My camera can't even focus on it. That's how extreme it was. Alright, we're going for a very extreme brow highlight. We'll just be glowing for the gods. I'm just going to go back in with a few of those shades, a few transition shades, and I'm just going to run them lightly underneath my lower lashes. Not doing anything too extravagant here, just going to add a little bit of color and depth to the look. I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes and apply some mascara. I've been really into just wearing a gloss instead of putting on like lipsticks or whatever. So I'm just going to go in with the Buxom lip gloss in White Russian. Then to set my face, I'm going to go back in with the Smashbox primer water and just spray my face. Alright guys, that concludes my very first get ready with me. Let me know down below what you guys think and let me know of any future video ideas or requests. I will leave all the products that I'm wearing down below for you. Make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload. I upload weekly. And follow me on other social medias. I'll leave all that linked down below as well. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. And follow me on other social media. I'll leave it. I just punched myself. There's like a creepy looking bug outside my window.